The boy who kept receiving tomorrow's newspaper. My name is Michael, and when I was 17 years old, something happened that changed my life forever. Even now, years later, I still can't explain it. It started on a cold winter morning. I woke up early to get ready for school. As I opened the front door, I noticed a newspaper lying on the porch. That wasn't unusual. The newspaper was delivered every day. But something immediately caught my attention. The date. I stared at it for several seconds, then checked it again, and again. My heart started beating faster, because the newspaper wasn't dated today. It was dated tomorrow. At first, I laughed. It must be a printing mistake, I told myself. I picked up the paper and went inside. But as I flipped through the pages, I noticed something strange. Every article described events that hadn't happened yet. A traffic accident, a local fire, a basketball game. Everything seemed impossible. I showed the newspaper to my mother. She smiled and said, "Nice joke." Nobody believed me, not even my friends. Then the next day arrived, and every story in the newspaper came true. Exactly as written. The same accident, the same fire, the same final score, word for word. My hand shook as I compared the newspaper to the real news. There was no difference. Not one. The next morning, another newspaper appeared. Again, it carried tomorrow's date. Again, it contained tomorrow's news. And once again, everything happened exactly as written. Days turned into weeks. Every morning at exactly 6 a.m., a new newspaper appeared on my porch. No delivery truck, no delivery person, just the newspaper, waiting. At first, I used it for harmless things. I knew which sports teams would win, which roads to avoid, which events would be canceled. But then, the headlines became darker. One morning, I opened the paper and froze. The front page showed a photograph of my school. The headline read, "Student injured in science lab explosion." My heart nearly stopped. The article explained that an accident would occur at 1:17 p.m. Several students would be hurt. I immediately ran to the principal's office. I told him everything. The newspaper, the article, the explosion. He looked at me as if I were crazy, but something in my voice convinced him. The school evacuated the lab. At exactly 1:17 p.m., a chemical accident occurred. Nobody was injured, because everyone had already left. For the first time, I changed the future. The realization terrified me, because if I could change the future, what else could I change? Weeks later, the newspaper delivered another warning. This time, it wasn't about strangers. It was about my family. The headline read, "Local woman dies in highway collision." The photograph beneath the headline showed my mother. I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred. I read the article over and over. The accident was scheduled for the next afternoon. I begged my mother not to drive. She thought I was overreacting. She laughed. Then she saw my face and stopped smiling. The next day, she stayed home. The accident still happened. Same road, same time, same truck. But my mother wasn't there. She survived. For the first time in my life, I cried from relief. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat beside my bedroom window staring into the darkness, thinking about the newspaper, thinking about who was sending it, and why. Then came the final newspaper, the one that changed everything. It arrived on a rainy Thursday morning. The front page contained only one article. No sports, no weather, no advertisements, just one headline. The headline read, Teenager disappears without a trace. Beneath it was my photograph. My blood ran cold. I read every word. According to the article, I would disappear the following night. Nobody would ever find me. Police would search for years. My family would never know what happened. My hands trembled so badly I could barely hold the paper. For the first time, the future wasn't warning me about someone else. It was warning me about myself. That entire day I remained terrified. I locked every door, closed every window, stayed inside my house. I wasn't taking any chances. As midnight approached, the rain outside became heavier. The power suddenly went out. The entire house fell silent. Then I heard something. A knock. 3 slow knocks, coming from the front door. My heart pounded. Nobody should have been outside. Not in that storm. Not at that hour. Then another knock echoed through the house. I slowly walked toward the door. Every instinct told me not to open it, but curiosity won. I unlocked the door and pulled it open. Nobody was there. Only darkness. And a single newspaper lying on the porch. I looked down. The date wasn't tomorrow. The date was 10 years in the future. My hand started shaking. I picked it up. The headline covered the entire front page. And when I read it, tears filled my eyes. The headline read, "Local author publishes best-selling book about the future newspaper mystery." The photograph beneath the headline showed me. Older. Smiling. Alive. For the first time in months. I smiled too. The future wasn't fixed. It never had been. The newspaper wasn't showing me destiny. It was showing me possibilities. And every choice I made changed the outcome. The next morning, the newspaper stopped arriving. Forever. No explanation. No answers. No clues. Just silence. Years have passed since then. I never discovered who delivered them, or where they came from. But every now and then, when I hear a newspaper hit someone's front porch early in the morning, I still remember those impossible headlines. And I wonder, what would tomorrow's newspaper say about me now? If you enjoyed this mystery story, subscribe to Noxvale Stories, and turn on notifications for more suspenseful mysteries, emotional stories, and unexplained events. And remember, sometimes the future isn't something we discover. It's something we create.